Next up, we have Cave featuring TDX by Cheetah Mobile from the Rolling Sky soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, all that good stuff. Two things before the disclaimers. Number one, if we somehow reach 10,000 subscribers before Christmas 2025, which is an actual possibility. I can't believe this is actually a legit possibility. Blows my mind. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. If we somehow reach that, I will take a single fan fiction of the choice of the community. Whatever you want, y'all figure it out, and I will fully produce, record, and voice act an audiobook for it. We have to do this legit, though, so no account duping, no botting, nothing like that. Sharing the videos, bringing people to the community, all that kind of stuff. We do have the hype feature on YouTube, that kind of thing. We have a group on Discord who is handling that. I don't know how it works. They do. So that kind of thing. And number two, members. If you are a paid member on YouTube, you get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you are a paid member on YouTube, you get access to the week's videos on Saturday. So consider becoming a member today. No matter what tier you are, you get early access. Disclaimers. Number one, this is my first time listening to this, so I will be pausing a lot and I will be speaking a lot, as I will be pointing things out as I hear them or as I realize them. And number two, this is recorded live on stream on a single take. I will stumble upon my words. It already has happened. I will do it again. Whatever happens, happens. With that being said, let's do this. Cave from Rolling Sky. Let's go. Okay, nice. So we start with a single chord being, might be EQ'd, it could just be a filter, but it sounded a bit more opaque, then it sounded a bit more clear. We bring in then the drums with our initial accompaniment, which is going to be arpeggios. Arpeggios, let me actually spell it because I don't actually, so arpeggios are usually when you play a chord one note at a time. It's a very, very good way of put some melody to the chords you're making without actually bringing a melody. Really, really good way of doing that. Of course, the most notorious piece to ever do that is the Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven. The first and third movements, I would say 60 to 70% of it is just arpeggios, and it's a brilliant piece. Second movement, yeah, it's a second movement, nobody ever talks about that one, but first and third movements, pure arpeggios. That was my computer. So yeah, let's see where this goes. So we have one synth holding the chord, the other one. Okay, so the arpeggios are our motif, so it would seem. So motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. And in this case, I would say it makes sense because we are giving this kind of shape to the motif. We're giving this kind of undulation to the motif. Pretty cool, and not even that, I would say. Like it's more on the this kind of thing. So we are holding the notes, going up and everything. It's a pretty good simple idea that can be explored many, many ways. Let's see where it goes. I like the drums too. There you go, and we bring it. So it turns out it was just accompaniment. It just took a lot longer for the melody to kick in. The melody comes with the actual motif. The background was just accompaniment, and the motif does have some parallels to. I hit my microphone. Sorry. It does have some parallels to the accompaniment, which is pretty nice to always see these kinds of things kind of reflected. Let's see. Sometimes I really wish I could listen to any song and like it. You detach yourself from it. That's how you do it. You detach yourself from the music, or not from the music. You detach yourself from your judgment in the music, and you learn to appreciate these kinds of things, and then you bring in your judgment afterwards in retrospective. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to do, and of course, I have a taste. I have standards. I have standards for my music, but at the same time, the whole point of this show and the jam and shred and everything I'm doing over here is to explore music. And Monk, welcome to the Mosh Pit. Thank you for the follow. Welcome today. How you doing? So yeah, for me, it's the fact that I'm trying to explore music. So I need to be open minded. So it's an active effort on my end. I want to look for what I can like about the music, because I listen to the same 5 albums at work every single day, at work at least. I don't listen to that much music outside of it. So ironic, right? For me being a musician, it's I don't listen to that much music. And by the way, if you're curious about what albums I listen to, I have a short playlist. Basically, I listen to The Weight of Oceans by In Mourning, followed by The Unborn by Mors Principium Est, followed by Vides Lucu Habitate by Moon Sorrow, followed by Planetary Duality by The Faceless, followed by The Parallax to Future Sequence by Between the Buried and Me, and recently I added this one, And Death Said Live by Mors Principium Est. Yes, those 6 albums, turns out it's 6 now, in that order. During my workday, I use it as a timer for myself. I use it as a timer. So basically, I hit play when I start working. I hit stop when I pause my work, and then and that's a way for me to keep track of how much I'm working. So yeah, I'm weird like that. So I use this. I use the jam and shreds. I use the LFAs to explore music. Basically, because there's a lot of music out there, and yeah, I know right now we are limited to video game music because of the copyright system on YouTube. In February, we're going to be having February 2026, we're going to do the full-time experiment, and I'm going to be exploring further than that even. So I am excited for that. As it attached to music, especially video game music, when I know the context behind it, can understand the emotions and the intent going conveyed. Yeah. Listen to it 20 times, start even like to be my favorite song. You would listen 10 times, start liking it. Yeah, no, and for me, it's part of my habits, of my daily habits kind of thing. So, yeah, and for me, it's because I know what to look for. And unlike many other musicians that end up suffering from the curse of knowledge, I use it to my advantage. I compartmentalize, and I decide, you know what, let's look at everything at the positive. Because yes, every single thing that has been done in this piece, I've heard 100 times, probably, even more. And I know these concepts, but I'm choosing to like them instead and seeing how the creator did this in a positive light. Of course, there have been a couple that we have disliked after a time, but yeah, let's see. Some songs never get tiring for some reason. Yeah, that's what you call your favorite music. Yeah. All right. If to close this point, right? My favorite song of all time is "Swim to the Moon" by Between the Buried and Me. It's an 18-minute song. It's my favorite song of all time. I love this song. Every time I listen to it, I have to make time to listen to it. Not The Mirror, ironically, no. The Mirror I only say as a reference for the intro, but my favorite song of all time is Swim to the Moon by Between the Buried and Me. It has been from the very, very first time I listened to it, and it still is all these years later. It's been 15-ish years since I first listened to Swim to the Moon. 18 minutes of just a trip. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of music that I just enjoy a lot. It's a beautiful song. I have to make time for it, but yeah. Anyway, let's continue here. So yes, the melody is partially an elongated version of the arpeggiation going in the background. So elongation is when you take any musical idea and you slow it down partially or fully to make it, happen over a longer period of time. So for example, right now, the motif from the arpeggiation is this kind of thing, right? And the motif from the melody is basically just going slower, but still giving us overall the same shape over a longer period of time. This is a fairly common thing, especially when you get arpeggiated melodies, that you will have something like that. Welcome back, Sin. So only a shame you can't request songs longer than 8 minutes. Yeah, that's an infrastructure thing. I'll be able to implement that during the full-time experiment though. So mentions the mirror now. I always visualize James doing Yep, there you go. All right, let's see. And off the ramp we go. So off the ramp being a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial, by that I mean there's no official academic term for this, or at least I'm not using it for the purposes of simplicity. Off the ramp is what I call a transition. It can be as short as a couple of beats. It can be as long as a full section. The purpose of it is to make your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where we land. How do you do that? Remove the drums, maybe the bass as well, which is what we've done. We also removed the arpeggiation. We are now just doing what we call block chords. We're just now holding down the chords with a synth in the background. Let's see where this goes. Moriam, welcome today. How you doing? And now the new melody is a reduced version of the melody we heard before. So the opposite of elongation is reduction. Reduction, reduced, it's shorter, it's compressed to take a shorter period of time. I think it's the same melody. Let's see where it goes. Build up. Ooh. Okay, we bring in our dropping of the beat. We bring this other melody, which I think is an inverted version of the melody. So another way of, so elongation, reduction, those are ways to develop your motifs. Another one is inversion. Inversion is basically, at least melodically speaking, you take a shape for any sort of melody, you grab that and you flip it upside down. And that's basically what we're doing. We're taking the concept of that elongated melody, we are reducing it a little bit. Do not request songs just yet. Requests are not open, you just wasted 10 points. And yes, we bring the concept of it, we compress it, we reduce it, and we invert it. We're still using the overall same musical idea, which is why this still sounds familiar despite this being so different. Let's see where this goes. Plus the added whoop-whoopness of dropping a beat off the ramp already. Again. And this time, we bring a piano this time. We go another off the ramp moment. We bring in a piano to highlight what we call the downbeat. Downbeat being the start of your measures and bars. So, you know, the beat, the start of the beat of every repetition of the beat, basically. And we bring in, obfuscated a little bit, another version of the melody. Let's see where it goes. A more complex version of the melody of the ramp and so now we have a version of the melody that is several repetitions long with several variations of these repetitions going on. I think it's 2 repetitions and a sequence. Because of the way that the synth is sounding. So another way of developing is with sequencing. So sequencing is when you grab a motif. Let's say we have this idea of a motif, and you repeat it, but instead of repeating it from the same point, which would be just a straight repetition, you change the starting point of the phrase, of the motif, in a different point in the scale. And I think what we're doing is we have 2 repetitions and sequence. 2 repetitions and sequence. I think that's what we have over here. I could be wrong. It could just be the way that the synth is sounding. Song request, if I'm on YouTube, do I tell the title of the song? I'll let you know the instructions. Yeah. Exclamation point, how to SR has the full instructions for the chat. All right, let's see where this goes. We're building up again for another draw. And inverted version of the melody with the whoop whoop. I think this is a repetition of before. And now we bring back an inverted version, an extended version of the regular one. After a partial inversion, we bring back the other one to go for those higher notes, giving us that climactic feeling. Very, very lovely. I really don't know how this song represents a cave, but it's not that bad either. Oh yeah, no. When it comes to music, naming means very little unless you're really trying to portray something. It's one of those. Andrew, welcome to the mosh pit. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to today. How you doing? So yeah, when it comes to music, naming conventions are very rarely logical. So unless you're talking about like, I don't know, sonatas or symphonies or operatas or operas or something like that. It has a specific format of what you can do, or like a concerto or something like that. Unless you're doing that kind of thing that has a set format, or you are doing something that is called scoring. So let's say the concept of scoring is when the music actually has to score, underline, accompany, or help portray something. Because when it comes to music, unlike other mediums, portraying something with music is very difficult. If you go to a filmmaker and you tell the filmmaker, using your medium, show me a tree, the filmmaker is going to show you a film of a tree. Photographer, same thing, a picture of a tree. Visual artist, they're going to paint you a tree. But even in literature, things like that, you ask a writer, show me a tree in your medium. They're going to describe a tree, and it's up to the writer how many words they want to use to describe the tree. But you ask a musician, using an instrumental piece, show me a tree, it becomes very difficult to be able to do that, and there are infinite interpretations of that, and part of that is going to be your title, but that does not become a mandatory thing. I have songs, I have pieces from my early days, like you can check my SoundCloud, and you will see that my titles make absolutely no sense. Like, the titles make zero sense, I just wanted something for the title. No, I'm not gonna show it for the video, but yeah, like one of them was like the 13th son of the 6th son or something like that, something ridiculous like that I just wanted a title, and it was the first thing that came to mind, and that was it. Unless you're doing scoring, which is the actual use of, I want to elevate a certain feeling or some sort of portrayal of something, then you need to start taking into account that. Otherwise, yeah, music makes no sense. A lot of things in music make no sense, and that's kind of to the advantage of the musicians. Would you watch the Tree movie? Probably not. But isn't that called the Lorax? But yeah, no. So yeah, portrayal of an idea like that in music, unless you are coming in with that specific idea, you are most likely just going to be slapping a title on top of it after the fact. Like, you come in with the whole piece, and after that is like, okay, but what is this called? It's going to be like, oh yeah, this is cave, I don't know. And that's it, right? So there you go. All right, let's see where this goes. We got a couple of seconds left. Let's see where it goes. We bring back this version of the melody. How are you gonna end this? Okay, so we kind of fade away. Oh, okay, that was a good ending. So we kind of obfuscate the main melody. We bring in one last loop of the drums, and we use what I'm going to call the cadential phrase. So once again, when you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension, or you're resolving that tension. Point in between, we call cadence. However, there is one type of melody that is cadential phrases / melodies that they're not really unique in any sort of way. They are kind of cliches. They are kind of like punctuation marks. Consider it like a punctuation mark, where you can really put it in any piece and it's going to sound good. Like, you listen to every Mozart piece that exists, and a lot of them are gonna have the cadential phrases. They're gonna have certain melodies, bum 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 bum, that kind of thing, or in this case, bum 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 bum, that kind of thing, which is just a cadential melody, which adds to this. It gives you that sense of finality, of resolution, but it's not necessarily related to the motifs that you're exploring, or the melodies, or any of the other material. It is just punctuation marks. It doesn't really change. It can affect how you finish the phrase or the melody or the motifs that you're using, but it's also not something that is going to completely throw off your listener. That kind of thing. So yeah, there you go. I saw a thing. I've kind of seen theme in songs where songs don't match the names of some occasions, but it's pretty good. I appreciate it. So yeah, no, because that's the thing, right? Like a lot of the musicians, they're gonna come up with a song, and or a melody or a piece or something like that, and they're not gonna have a name for it. For example, Penderecki's Threnody for the victims of Hiroshima. That was not the title of the piece. And Polovnik, welcome to the mosh pit. Thank you for the follow. Welcome today. How you doing? The original, but it's Penderecki. Which, by the way, I advise against listening to this. This is atonal aleatoric music. Absolute horror show. The original title for this one, I think, was study of... I think it was something along the lines of the study for string orchestra. I think it was. Like, it was an experimental piece, something like that. And it was not meant to have a title. And then after the fact, he decided to give it a title. And this is very, very common for most musicians. A lot of the times, for example, you will listen to a song that the lyrics don't quite fit the music that is being played. Usually it's because you have the lyric writer who had a set of lyrics who decides, okay, I want this music, and they just force the lyrics in, and that's it. And that's why you get a lot of music where the lyrics don't quite match rhythmically or thematically or stuff like that. And it's because a lot of these things are done in retrospect, where you try to force these things, because not everybody is going to bring in the deep compositional techniques to be like, okay, for example, in my case, if I'm going to have a melody of a person asking a question, the melody is going to go up. Because when you ask a question, your inflection goes up. Does it go up? Yes, it does. So, whenever I have that in my music, if a question is asked, the inflection, the melody goes up. That's not something other musicians, or most musicians, are going to think about. They're just going to think, okay, lyric, melody, I'm going to just put it there. And that's it. And that's it. So that's how I see it. And for me, like my music, that one of the reasons why it takes me so long to make my own music is one, because I don't give myself the time. But number two, I want to make sure that the music and the lyrics fit. A band that I know for a fact that they have an approach like this one is Seven Spires. They have this approach 100%. Every single note is, every single word, every single note is carefully crafted for each individual song. But this is not the norm. The norm is we have a cool riff, we have a cool melody, we bring in cool lyrics, we mash it together, and we have a song. Is that bad? No. It's just common practice. It's just common practice. Does it not work sometimes? Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, yeah, there you go. I just wanted to make that point when it comes to naming. Other than that, this one, yeah, cadential ending with that little phrase in the end, which we heard it many times going off the ramp, that cadential melody. So you were already conditioned throughout the piece to experience, okay, this is how. So yeah, there you go. That was Cave featuring TDX by Cheetah Mobile from the Rolling Sky soundtrack. I guess this is OST. I'm not entirely sure. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain what has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, I will keep saying this until it happens, or unless it happens. If we somehow reach 10,000 subscribers on YouTube before Christmas 2025, I will take a single fan fiction of the choice of the community, whatever y'all want, any one fan fiction, and I will fully record and produce and voice act an audiobook for it. I'll do it. We have to achieve this through legitimate means, though. No account duping, no botting, no buying, nothing like that. Sharing, bringing people to the community, all that kind of stuff. Hype function on YouTube. I know we have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that. I don't know how it works. They do. Discord is linked down below. So all that stuff. And members. Members get early access to all the content. If you have a paid membership on YouTube, I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you have a paid membership, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos for the week on Saturdays when I schedule them, so become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song, if you're on the live stream, you can start requesting, and if you're not on the live stream, you can go to the Discord server, linked down below, go to the LFA requests channel, and follow the instructions on the pinned message. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you're not in Europe, we have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in the Discord and the Twitch. So if you're in, I don't know, Ulaanbaatar, and you're like, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't know this. Just go to the Discord or to the Twitch channel. They both have the schedule in your local time zone, so you don't have to bother with that kind of stuff. And follow the gaming channel. We have a gaming channel because, of course, we have a gaming channel. What else could I possibly have? I'm on YouTube. Games are Basterd. It's where we put the recordings of the video game after shows when they happen. Link down below, or just search for it on YouTube. Same username as James R. Basterd. Just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you go. Cave from Rolling Sky. Good stuff. It was a good, cute song. Cute track. Good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.